500 miles, 40 days, nothing but the backpack on my shoulders and the open trail in front of me. This past summer, I walked the Camino de Santiago, the ancient pilgrimage trail across the entire distance of Spain, leading to the tomb of the Apostle of St. James. Now, I took on the identity of a pilgrim, somebody that travels extreme lengths to a sacred destination for religious reasons. Now, it was through detailed observation and journaling, paired with sound-recorded conversations I had with pilgrims from all over the world, that I identified that it was the community on pilgrimage that made such a profound experience. Now, as a visual artist, my research culminates in the creation of a physical object or an interactive experience in which I share my findings with a greater audience. So today I have two examples that I'd like to share with you of how I've translated my findings on community on pilgrimage into visual works of art. First, I discovered the significance and prevalence of storytelling. I would walk for 8 hours a day, oftentimes with a complete stranger, and we would pass the time by sharing stories. And I found it extremely empowering to know that I had a voice. And although I was surrounded by people I barely knew, they genuinely wanted to listen to the words that I had to share. And so I wanted to create that same sense of empowerment for women back home. And so I curated an exhibition entitled It's Time We Talk, where I invited female performance artists to use their art making to tell a story that they've never before been comfortable sharing with the world. And just as the stories on the pilgrimage were significant, art too as women were diverse, speaking about issues of love, of grief, of discrimination, of abuse, among many other extremely powerful topics. Second, I was so profoundly impacted by the way that these people changed the way that I thought and felt towards other humans. I would walk with some people maybe for only an afternoon, others for several weeks. But it wasn't until I returned home that I realized I never had the chance to say thank you. And so I turned to my art to do so. I created 40 concrete blocks inscribed with thank you notes. I created 40 thank you notes for 40 different people that I met on my 40 days on the trail. And it's the physical weight of holding this block that represent how important these people were on my journey, while also signifying the weight of my words of gratitude. And so it's through my research, my research on pilgrimage and my art making, that I hope to raise an awareness and a sense of understanding of pilgrimage as a tool still being used today to represent religious rituals in today's society. Thank you.